WF representing Palace, so let's tell you about Palace. Rolling straight to the ceiling, crowns and crystals, top like journeys, dishing out malice. Hold up, South London's grandest, far from bandits. Anything earned for a goal of elevation, just passing the team over here might finish like bright future, we can't vanish. SE25 any day, that's SELHURST. Rev up the engines, no more reverse reactions, fan cams, bands on stream. Share up the team, support the dream team when Eagles fly, make noise and scheme. Dare to dream or dream to dare, taking a step to become supreme.
This always happens.
You need a better computer.
I just think, yeah, this just peak settings. Big up, everyone. This is the match reaction for our 1-0 defeat at home to Liverpool. And once again, another game of two halves, which is a bit annoying. JC, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. Got the thumbnail done very late. I was editing all day today, so didn't really get too much free time on the weekend, let's say. But yeah, doing okay. I've had time to think about the game, and we're here to talk about the game today, so we'll talk about it a little bit more.
100%. And once again, this is the reason why we do it the day after. Obviously, we get the fan cams on the day, which is probably like, I wouldn't say reactionary at times, but
oh, it is.
Like
100% it is.
Player ratings could differ after you've looked at it another time and so on and so forth. So we hopefully have a more of a balanced perspective. Just very quickly, guys, I know obviously we've got the WSL Academy Lowdown show tomorrow, but we have to say massive congrats to Palace today. First win in the WSL ever. Blanchard with the brace. So yeah, obviously I'll break that down a bit further in more detail tomorrow, but it's a massive achievement for the club. And I think it takes us up to 8th. It's almost like the WSL is like the top 4 and then the rest.
Who cares? As long as you don't get relegated, who cares?
Exactly that. But listen, let's get into it. And don't forget, guys, we will definitely drop the link in shortly, obviously, for you to jump in, have your say. Bear in mind, because obviously we've had our fan cams. Sometimes we may have a bit more to add. We may have a lot less to add. But let's get into it. Because actually, this game had a lot. It actually had a lot. I think for the neutral, no one would have been surprised if that finished like 4-4. You know, it had so much going on. And obviously it started off in the first minute. And I don't know if we caught Liverpool by surprise, but just a pass and a movement just in that first passage of play was incredible. And I thought to myself, that's the old Palace. Well, as in the back end of last season, everything was 1-2 touch, very sharp. The finish from Eddie, like I said, he was offside, fair enough. But when you've got one of the best goalkeepers in the world, to have the audacity to even try that.
Especially for teams that are in as well.
Yeah, some may even like take a touch and take it round the keeper. What he said, no, I'm dinking you.
Hold that.
You know, but I think we could all see, like, from the naked eye, like, it looked offside anyway, so I don't think there was any complaints. And I think we kind of like, obviously Liverpool grew into the game after that initial scare. When I look back at the goal now, yeah, and 2 observations. Number one, I have to credit how Liverpool set traps, by the way. We weren't sure whether to press or not. Like, Van Dijk will stand there and he's just like, come on, press me. Dare you. And like, pause in case.
There's a good pause in there.
Whether it's Wharton, whether it's Nketiah, whether it's Sarr, they're like tentative, like every time. And then when they did decide to commit to it, he's like, pass it to Canal, bang into midfield straight away. Next minute, they're just running. You know, they did that time and time again. And just looking back at the goal, there were 3 mistakes. Sorry, 4 mistakes. And there was one mistake in that which I didn't realise until I went and watched it back. So let's break this down.
I like to say I still haven't watched the game back.
Huh?
I haven't watched the game back.
No, I tend to watch it back, especially like goals, just to see if there's like phases that things could have been denied and stuff or stopped. Munoz, ball watching. Don't get me wrong, good run. I believe it was Gakpo. Good run. Fairs. Lacroix tucked in way too much. Like he was way too close to mark at that time. And obviously, the third one, which was obvious, was obviously Chalobah allowed Jota to get in front of him. But there's one defender who actually could have intercepted the cross. Mark. I think if he had slid, he blocks it. Even if he had stuck a leg out, he blocks it. It's almost as if he had already resigned to the fact that he's not getting there. Which was a bit annoying. And I looked at it thinking, that's not too far from him. Now, granted, I'm not on the pitch. I'm not 100% sure of like distances and stuff, but just watching it, I think he could have got there. You know? But what's your take on the goal?
I think that it was probably a little bit of, granted, there were mistakes from us, but I feel like we have to give Liverpool their credit and their flowers as well, but just because of how they were playing against us. Because to be fair, from minute one, the way they were moving the ball around, the way the actual players were moving off the ball as well, was incredible, and you just couldn't stop it. Like, you couldn't track your man. Even if you go man for man, you couldn't track him because that's how fluid the movement was. And the thing is the movement was fluid, but everyone was still in the vicinity of their position, so they were never really compromised when defending as well. But what you can say is that when they were moving forwards, they were picking their passes. They were very direct with what they wanted to do. It was very obvious with what they wanted to do. And I guess there's sort of a sense of it was so obvious that we couldn't really stop it because of the quality of their players. Because we have to remember that Gakpo's one of the top scorers in the Euros. Incredible performance internationally as well. You got Van Dijk in that team. Mo Salah, by the way, cutting off his afro seems to have given him more pace. Like, I don't remember him being that fast. Like, I knew he was fast, but I didn't know he was that fast.
He was holding up Chalobah. He was holding up.
Yeah, like Salah's a different breed of player, man. Like for someone that short and that fast, they shouldn't be that strong. It's illegal. He's broken the system there. But like how, as you said, how the game went, Liverpool really should have won this game about 3-4-0. Let's be real, because Jota missed 2, I guess, golden chances. One in the first half where he literally stuck his foot into the ground. All he had to do was guide it home. And he completely missed it. And then the other one, he just hit it wide. You're thinking, Jota's better than that. Come on now. But granted, for the first goal, there were mistakes in there. But I think we have to say the quality of Liverpool in that attack and the speed and the skill and what they did, I wouldn't say it's an unstoppable goal, but I'd say that you'd have to. There's a little bit of luck that has to go on our side for us to actually, I guess, get a point out of this game. We all said it in tactical. We need to be lucky here. We need to play well and we need to be lucky. And I think what you said about Mark is very interesting, especially regarding what happened later in the second half. And that is quite interesting because I didn't realise that Mark could have intercepted the previous pass. Obviously, as you said, you don't know how he's thinking, what's going on, if his momentum's going this way, if he couldn't actually stick a leg out at all. But for what happened in the second half with Mark, it sort of makes me sway more to the side of he'd already conceded the fact that he's not even getting the ball. And we'll probably talk about that a little bit more later.
Yeah. I mean, feel free to go check out now on Palace TV, Ross. I'll talk about like how the rest of the first half panned out.
I'm going to watch the highlights right now while you're talking.
Cool. We conceded a goal in the 8th minute. And it's almost like any sort of passing powers we had just disappeared. Like Wharton, who we trust, and like granted,
no. Gay got a shout from Henderson. That's why he didn't push out.
Right.
I just
Well,
watched
that's
it.
a shout because Henderson stayed on his line. Can you see the distance? It seemed as if he could have intercepted it.
Yeah, because I saw that Mark was going for it, and then you see Henderson coming out like this, like he took one step forward like this, and Mark went, "I bet my guy's got it." So I wouldn't even put that on Mark. I blame it on
Nah,
the shout. But then again, though, you
as
got
a
to clear it.
defender, you've got to clear it. You've got to clear it. But yeah, look, Adam Wharton, who is one of our best passers in the team, was far off it. And I liked what you said yesterday, JC, the fact that, yes, he's injured and he needs a rest. No one's denying that. But just the basics he was getting very wrong. You know, if you're talking about the whole unable to track back, as I could Liverpool had runners, and I don't even know why Wharton's pressing, like he was pressing Allison at times. I'm thinking, big man, conserve your energy because you're the only, that Ebbs ain't going to track back for you, you know. But the basics, like I said, in the passing was so bad. Ebbs, non-existent again. Non-existent. We have to start thinking, do we have to take a bold move? I'm not saying don't start him in the next game because he's clearly one of our better players, but should he be taken off? Granted, once again, our squad depth ain't great. France being injured again is annoying, you know. But if things are not working, like, and obviously speaking to Callum yesterday about it regarding and big up Callum from Coppish, he said that, listen, I'm happy that Slot took off Salah because it just wasn't his best game. But then on the flip side, you can say they got the options to make a change. But I like how Glasner was brave against Man City last season. We just took Eze off. You know?
Bold statement.
Yeah. We were laughing and joking about Tyreek Mitchell and his crossing before the game. My goodness me. We actually we started counting all the terrible crosses. We generally were counting. I think he went 0 for 3, didn't he?
It was 7.
No, as a starter, we'll think, oh gosh, that was his first. And then second half, he didn't want any better. Then he got hooked. And it,
I still remember the one where Eze didn't pass to him. And the one time he passed him, and he had a easy cross to Nketiah, who was he got rid of Van Dijk. He was chilling in the box, and bro passes it to Alisson.
it's Allison.
I said it to you in when we were watching the game. I was like, oh man, this Archie Brown going to be worth triple what we could have bought him for in January is going to hit like crack.
Honestly, but it just all around first half was terrible until the magical 44th minute. we actually had some possession, you know, and you could argue that Shimaka's handballed it. Whether that was inside or outside, but we don't know. It wasn't given.
There was a chance in there though. With I think we won the ball after that incident when the ball was cleared. We won the ball back. Lacroix pressed forward to the nice touch.
He fizzed one into Sarr, wasn't it? I think,
yeah, absolutely drilled one along the floor. Sarr with a lovely touch. Because I actually just seen it on the highlights. What happened is Tsimikas puts his foot out to intercept it. Sarr puts his foot around him. The ball rolls over his foot, rolls over Tsimikas' foot, and then he runs into it. And he takes a great shot. I have to say, any keeper in the league other than Alisson, that ball goes in the back of the net because it's right in the far post. It was going side net. I'm telling you now, it was going side net, but Alisson gets his fingertips there, stops it. And also, Nketiah is running in to put away the rebound, but Konate is just strong and just ushers him wide, and they collect it. But it was a great little bit of play that we did there, and really and truly probably could have scored from it. But, you know, it's just Alisson. He's just a great keeper, isn't he?
There's not much you can do about it. Second half, we had some ropey moments. You know, granted, like I would say we had the better the better of the second half in regards to chances. But then I did also think Salah had a great chance that Henderson saved from. I think he saved from Jota as well. Henderson saved from his feet. I
I
believe
just
those
said
were the two
Jota
people
should
who
have had a
scored.
hat trick, by the way. He had one
Yeah.
free header, like right at the start of the second half, when Trent put the ball in, and he just hit it
Yeah.
wide.
You know, so they had their chances. But then I also saw that they were overplaying. I was thinking, oh no, they're gonna shoot. Oh no, they're gonna shoot. It's what, another pass, another pass, another pass. And this is one thing that we've all been saying that Glasner's done well. He will change things quick. Now, granted, obviously Munoz was an unfortunate injury in the first half. Yeah, it doesn't look pretty. But Mitchell came off what in the 50th, maybe 55th. Obviously, where we were sitting, we couldn't see any clock.
You'll see why soon, depending on if we get the go ahead or not.
And where was I going with this? Yeah, so he's made the change. And Will Hughes and Mateta, fair play to them both. They came on and they changed the game for us, particularly Hughes, because Lerma, like I said, who was my man of the match, especially in the first half.
Sure.
And big up, James. I see that you had to duck out. Big up.
I've got no idea what's happening.
You just took yourself out.
No, I think no, because you stopped, and then my screen just refreshed. I didn't even click anything.
No, I was just saying to big up to Jama. He said in the comments that he has to duck out, and big up Anna. We started around 8, so it's been 17 minutes now. He's made the changes. Lerma was doing doggies in that first half, like he was everywhere. I felt sorry for him. But then Hughes came on, and there was like two combative midfielders. They were just like they were just constant, you know. We took control of the game. We took control of the game, and the chances.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to remember because there was quite a few. We know the Ebbs won at the end.
Eddie had one where the ball was fired into Mateta, who did a great layoff to Nketiah. I think that one was an unlucky chance because if you watch it back, Nketiah was stretching to even. Yeah. Oh, what's happening? Is my camera gone?
You've frozen.
Oh, it says my camera's just what?
Yeah, you're frozen. Like you got a pouting expression as well.
I got no idea what's happening.
Oh.
I think
yeah, you didn't get your chance. I even forgot about Eze chance on his left foot that he straight at Alisson at the time. All of the shots were straight at the goalkeeper, which was absolutely annoying. Yeah, you've put yourself back. Put yourself back on full screen. Nah, you shameless. But yeah, Eze shots, left-footed shot straight at Alisson. I think there was a header that was straight at Alisson. Nketiah's one was unlucky because, like I said, he was on the stretch. But Ebbs' chance, you're good, you're good. That last chance for Ebbs, my goodness me, like Mateta's done everything right because I think he's driving with it. I'm thinking, pass the ball, and he waits for the last moment. I think it was Konate who was the defender that was trying to jockey at the time. Lays it off to Ebbs. And this is against Liverpool's third choice goalkeeper, by the way.
Even Kelleher.
It weren't even Kelleher who was ill. We thought it was Kelleher. It weren't even him. And he just passes it into his hands. It's so poor.
It's just not good enough.
He could have gone both sides. He could have even taken a touch, because the touch would have taken him into the box. Then they definitely can't touch him. You know?
I disagree.
I disagree with this animal. Here's why. When the pass was made, Ebbs is running into the... Because if he had passed it earlier, Ebbs slows the game down 90% of the time. I won't lie. So Mateta's laid it in a position for him to have a shot first time or take a touch and shoot. He had plenty of time to do it. His confidence is definitely shot because I think that's now 4 big chances he's missed this season. I think it's about 4,
that's
maybe
a
even
lot.
5. You know, it's annoying.
I've just watched it back. Eze actually received the ball and took the shot outside of the box. It's not good enough. Mateta's pass was perfect. Even if Eze put a little bit more quality on the shot, it probably would have went in. Like, that's how good the pass was. He didn't actually need a touch.
Eze didn't need to break stride at all.
And it looked like, to me, he mistimed it in so much that when he actually opened up his body, like, it was so close to his standing foot, he couldn't actually wrap his foot around it to even get any curl on it. So, to be fair, you've got to put it all on Eze. You have to. Even like as you said, he even had a chance to take it into the box because any touch in the box, if it's not the ball, you go down, it's a pen. It's a pen. But everything was so poor.
Well,
and he's got a reputation for diving as well now. Ow.
We say it would be a pen because let's talk about the referees quickly. Then we'll open up the lines. Lerma won with a Shimmercats. Like Lerma actually tries to catch him. Shimmercats jumps. Like Shimmercats, like he's gone for the ball. Like I'm not blaming Shimmercats because he's not made out as if like he's been fouled or anything like that. It was just he's jumped early. Lerma stood still.
He's landed heavy as well.
And he's landed heavy on like, and even Lerma's felt the touch on his arm, and he's actually tried to catch him to stop him from falling. What on earth the linesman has flagged for a foul for starters. Then he gets booked because obviously he protests. Like, how is this a foul? I've not even made a challenge. And Lerma gets booked for it. Shocking decision. A penalty decision. And was it PG? Oh my gosh. He literally's got 2 feet planted, both hands like this. He didn't hold him for a long enough time and it didn't impact play. Hello, Gay was literally running in on the goalkeeper. Whether he gets there or not is irrelevant because he can't get there because he's being held.
Can I bring back up something from the past? Eze's free kick from Brentford. Did that affect the play? No. Was the play brought back and the goal didn't stand anymore? Yes. Where's the consistency? Where is it?
Exactly that. Just quickly, we did. I brought this out. I told JC to even rewatch it as well. Like it wasn't until I saw it back I was like, Mark should have intercepted it, you know. But there was 4 different mistakes in that, but we did cover that at the start.
It looks like he got a shout from either Chalobah or Henderson, but still he's got to clear it.
Yeah, he's just got to get rid. So you've got that. You're hearing a lot of people like, oh, he's never going to get to the ball and this and that. It's not the point because if you then look later on that same day, Everton versus Newcastle, which once again, 1,000,000% a penalty. The ball was nowhere near where Tarkowski and I don't know who pulled down, maybe Murphy. I don't know who it was. Nowhere near, but Tarkowski's fouled him. So it's a pen. It couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe they decided that weren't a penalty. The officiating it was just been terrible. Absolutely terrible. You know? I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Nah. I think that's everything. You know, Jay, let's go through some of the chat. There's been loads. I'm sorry that we've
Yeah, we just
missed
sort of
quite a
went
few
off on a rant
at
for
the
about
start.
25 minutes. Big up the dog. Yeah, we're good. We're definitely good. Big up Kyle. Decision award, a penalty against Liverpool. Out of garbage.
That's facts.
Second half thought the was man a match, and he said Lerma instantly. How was? Yeah, it was nice. Big up women beating Leicester. Huge moment for the club. Huge pride as well, and a good thing for the bad week. Tim says fan cams equals hot takes. That's why we love it. Big up Dave saying up the palace. Big up Ollie. All pain and misery. It's possible.
There was a comment about the academy. Don't put it up. Don't mention it. I'm not even mentioning it tomorrow.
That's
battered.
Big up Jay. UK Pat saying Mark was the worst defender. We'll definitely ask you a little bit more about that in a minute. Big up Luke said, do you think Glasner should use the international break and take away the players like what we did when he first arrived at the club? Oh, what, when we did that week in was it Belgium?
I think that was like a 2-week break, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Had
we've
a bit
only
more
got 1
time.
week. Yeah.
But what I would do is what Glasner said that he was going to do when we first actually got him in, because he said that fitness was the main issue here, and I feel like fitness is still an issue at the club. So maybe if you just like make training horrible for these guys, like just make them do bare runs, like just make them work, man, because something needs to change. Something needs to change for them to fix up again, really.
Finishing.
Mate, I don't think the amount of shooting drills that they could do would help them, man. YouTube putting me in the sin bin. I look like I'm having a good time. It's Jamaican side. Knowing vibes, this is a mad statement. That pass from Eze weren't great. I'm not gonna lie. Tristan will definitely speak to you in a minute about that one, because I can see you in the studio as well. The link has been dropped, so if you guys want to join, you can join. Consistency don't exist. We conceded the one against City. The same thing was actually softer than the Van Disney pool. But there's new allegations that it's Virgil van Delegate now, so that's a good one. Big up Damo. Big up Nikki. I don't know why you're not in the stream, mate. What's happening here? English officiating, blah blah blah. Yeah. And finally, big up Tom and big up Real. All right, there's bare people in the back, so let's get them all in. Big up Pat, big up Tristan, and finally, big up Tim.
Tristan, let's start with you, because you spoke about the. I mean, to be fair, you were closer to that side of the goal with the Eze chance. What was it about Mateta's pass that you felt it wasn't a good one?
Well, there wasn't so much me sort of viewing it, whilst watching it in the stand. I mean, I saw it through on goal. How he missed that, I won't know. It was an awful finish. Absolutely shocking finish for a player who's got great caliber and great ability and has not been on this game one bit. It's more when I saw it from the highlight, and I don't know, just something about the Mateta pass. It was just a bit slow, a bit kind of too late. Now, Eze wasn't quick enough, don't get me wrong, but if Mateta would have just laid it up a bit faster, Eze might have just got on the end of it a little more and potentially could have had a better shot, even though it was an awful finish. It weren't the best pass, but the finish from Eze, like I said, was diabolical. And it pretty much summed up our game, and it pretty much sums up our season really in front of goal. We haven't really got any sharpness. We're not composed in front of goal. I think the players need some shooting drills, to be honest with you, because every time we seem to have a shot on target, it's right to keep instead of top bins. Bottom right, bottom left. You know what I mean? And it is really bizarre, considering we know how some of these players can finish, considering how they played on the back end of the the season that finished before this one, obviously, and whatnot in the summer. And I'm talking about the likes of Eze and Mateta, who are really pulling their weight right now, to be honest. We saw on Saturday. I mean, I thought Mateta was all right when he came on, but, he's not really been scoring, has he? And Eze, he had another abysmal game. He had chances, but didn't finish. Do you know what I mean? It's just like the guy's confidence is absolutely drained. If you don't mind me speaking about the match, really, I've got a few points that I want to sort of talk about. Really, we're still winless this season. 7 games in, 4 defeats and 3 draws. Absolute disgrace, in my opinion. Considering how we played on the back end of last season to start this campaign. If you would have told me a couple months ago we'd be in early October now with no wins at all, 5 goals just scored, and we've conceded 9 and whatnot. I would have laughed. I would have been like, "Nah, you're talking out your ass." Well, unfortunately, that's become a reality. Our worst nightmare, to be honest with you. No goals at home again. Played 3 home games this season and only scored. Sorry, 4 home games this season, I believe, and we've only scored 2 goals. 3 of them games we failed to score. West Ham at home, Man United a couple of weeks ago, and Liverpool on Saturday. And it just goes to show, our biggest problem is we can only play for 45 minutes. Rich, I was watching a fan cam yesterday, and you were saying we are at 45 minutes now, basically. We only got 45 minutes in us. We're either crap in the first half and good in the second half, or good in the first half and crap in the second half. That's been our story all season. And it's only one thing, it's fitness. But why is it fitness? Why have we got fitness issues? Before the Everton game, we had a week's break. Before the Liverpool game this weekend, we had a week's break. So we can't keep making up excuses. Why are we still unfit? And maybe Glasgow does need to run them around a bit over the international break and get them really fit for the Nottingham Forest game, because we've got a longer break than all the other teams, because we play Nottingham Forest on the 21st of October in around 3 weeks' time on a Monday night. So I don't want to hear all of this BS saying, "Oh, look, the players aren't fully fit," or "Look, we never really had enough time." There's plenty of time. We've got to get our shit together, and if we don't do it now, we're going to get relegated potentially. Now, overall, we lacked identity. We had no rhythm overall in the first half. We had no consistency throughout that match. It's been another problem this season during spells of the game. We had some positive spells, especially in the second half, but we just weren't good enough. We lacked aggression, we lacked ruthlessness, we lacked directness, we lacked a bit of a strategy going forward. I wasn't sure, what we were trying to do. We were getting a little bit desperate, putting on too many attacking players, and I respect Glasgow for trying to be positive, but Liverpool had it under control. Once Liverpool smelt trouble from us trying to put on basically our lacking our entire attacking bunch of players that we have on the bench and whatnot. Sorry, all they have to do is just sit back and relax. Really, is sit back and just defend solidly throughout the game. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, it was easy for them. I mean, they knew what we were trying to do, and all they had to do was just defend deep, and that's what they did. Saw the game out really. But in my opinion, I think we were just too soft. We were too respectful towards Liverpool. I thought they were very average in there for the taking, but they barely broke a sweat because they're playing Palace. And we've just been poor all season. We've been off it too much. Just really been inconsistent, and that's why we're struggling. The table don't lie, does it? We're in the bottom 3 for a reason, because we're not good enough, because we're rubbish, because we can't score goals, because we can't defend corners, because we can't score from corners. Because we're not good enough across 90 minutes of football. We're just slow, we're sluggish, and we were really poor defensively. I don't know if you saw the analysts, what Shearer and Michael Richards and Gary Lineker, what they were saying on the match of the day, but we were so naive. I mean, I'm looking at Liverpool's goal. It's one of the softest goals I think we've conceded this season. Munoz was in no man's land. He was a joke yesterday, really poor defensively. Like, he can't defend, and when he goes forward, he gets caught out. And that's what happened when Liverpool scored. They caught us out. They saw our weak point on the right hand side, the right wing back position where Munoz played. Bear in mind, this is before he went off injured and whatnot. They took advantage of that. Gakpo just made a free run past Munoz like he wasn't there. Munoz was ball watching. Gakpo all the time, squared it to Jota. I don't know who was in the box there. Trevor Chalobah should have cleared it. Should have put a foot in, or at least tried to clear it. And Jota just gets in front of him. Nick's 6 a foot out and scores. It's just poor. It's just really, really poor. And I don't care if it's Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? I don't care if it's like Man City, Man United, or even a team like Nottingham Forest. This is the Premier League. You've got to be on point. You've got to be switched on. And when you're not switched on, you get punished. And that is what happened on Saturday. Honestly, it's the same issue season after season, week after week. We don't learn, and we just keep making the same excuses. Or we're not fully fit. Oh, look, these things take time. Well, look, it's a new team. No, I'm past that. We need to start winning. It's crunch time. We are in the bottom 3. We need to start getting results. This is a results-driven game, and if you're not getting results between now and the end of this year, even for the rest of the season, you're going to be down there for a long time, and it's going to be very hard to get out of it. I look at the competition of teams in the Premier League this season. You look at the teams last season: Sheffield United, Luton, and what was it, Burnley. They were way off it. This season, it's very competitive. Wolves can be a bit of hot and cold. Southampton, they went to Arsenal, win a goal up, even though they lost. Ipswich have been picking up points. Everton have turned it around. Leicester City won a game. So there's no teams that are well adrift. It's very compact, it's very tight, and it's very competitive down there. And if we don't start picking up points, it's going to get a whole lot worse. And I love Glasgow. The guy is an icon. He's a legend for me regarding Palace managers and whatnot. He's done a tremendous job. But if he doesn't start picking up results, the pressure's going to get to him. And we all know what that's like. We all know what happens when managers have poor starts to seasons. Whilst managing Crystal Palace, it never ends well. But I have faith. I have faith that he can turn it around. We know what this manager's like. He's done it before. I'm saying he can do it again. But the players need to step up. And I'm talking about the likes of Kamada, Mateta, Eze, who've been absolutely atrocious this season and should hang their head in shame because they've been absolutely diabolical. And I'm sick of it. The same old crap week in, week out. Their performances are not on it. And they're either not fully fit or they're just not up for it at all. And it needs to be fixed right now over this 3-week spell that we have got in international break. It's as simple as that, or else we're going to be in the shit come the end of the year.
No, loads of great points. And I think something you mentioned actually led to this comment from Real. I'm going to bring Tim in. Inconsistency does come from Glasgow's changes to 11 every game. Do you think that this is the problem? I don't think we've had the same starting 11 2 games in a row.
I don't know that that's the problem. I think
we've not even played the same back three.
I mean,
in a row.
Fitness is part of it. I do think this is part of it, but I think the number one thing, and maybe consistency plays into this, Rich, to answer your question, is confidence. And I'll bring this in. You were mentioning the goal. I agree. It was a horrible soft goal. Chalaba should. I mean, there's a million things that should happen there. That it shouldn't be a goal. That doesn't. That doesn't change the fact that JC's right, that they had plenty of other chances they could have buried. That just happens to be the one they buried, and it's a terrible soft goal. We should have been able to clear that. But I wonder, Rich, because you made this point about Mark, and this is what I mean about confidence. So in a moment like that, where it's no man's land, JC, you were saying that Hendo's going to come out and he's going to handle it. Mark backs up. And okay, you're gonna do it. Wait a minute, are you gonna do it? You're gonna do it. Who's gonna clear this thing?
We've seen this before against.
Yeah, you cannot ever do that. And so here's what I wonder: when you're a player that lacks confidence, what's the thing that you don't do? You don't take the chance that you could take because you're afraid of making a mistake. So what Mark could do there that he doesn't do, if he slides in and he gets it wrong, it's going straight into the goal. It's going to be an own goal, right? If he misses it, if he kicks it wrong, it's going straight into the back of the net as an own goal. So that I think that's a serious problem for this squad right now, which is really weird because the number one thing that Glasner preaches is belief. We have to believe that we can win every game. I don't care who the opponent is. We have to believe. We have to believe. And he preaches this constantly. So either they're not taking it on board or I don't know. You tell me.
Just before I answer that, Tom, if this ever happens, I swear I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. Because I'm already preempting. It sounds mad, but like Glasgow would have probably spent 2 years max with us. I've already preempted that anyway, because he might just want to go and venture elsewhere. This scares me. This actually scares me. Like, I'm hoping Ten Hag does the dumbest thing, gets himself sacked, and Southgate goes to Manchester United.
Bet on that. Bet on that. The Manchester United board is meeting this week, and it's more likely. I feel this is reckless for me to say this, but I feel more confident that they will sack Ten Hag and bring in Southgate of Manchester United than he has ever come in here. So but that is totally reckless, and now I've just ruined it. So there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to
Tim's
answer your
first
question,
hot take.
so answer your question about him sliding in. I don't think he scores an own goal based on where, like, the ball passed him just outside the 6-yard box. I think there's still enough time for
Alright.
Henderson to
Well,
react to it.
we've
if need
seen
be.
Mark get rid of the ball closer to his own net and still
Yeah.
not score
Yeah.
a goal before.
You know.
So I
So
wouldn't.
then
I
why
wouldn't say
doesn't
the
he?
own goal.
Then I can't name another reason why he doesn't
I
go
think it's
in
just
there and take.
confidence.
So that's the problem, right? So if
Yeah.
he's why
Because-
if you think that his positioning is not going, he's not going to put it in the back of the net, then what's he waiting for? What's he waiting for?
Well, look at in the second half where I think it's Jota rolled him, and he literally went like this. Oh, and literally I'm thinking that's a goal. And Lacroix does probably a 20-yard dash, you know, to block it. Obviously, concede a corner. But yeah, I don't know. And the thing is, I don't know if there's been any goal that we've conceded this season that I can actually just say, great goal.
The nil one.
It's all come
I'd
from
say.
some form of defensive error.
Yeah, but
Under
Rich,
any
Take it
pressure,
away.
though. That's the problem.
no, I know it wasn't under any pressure. It was a good finish, but you know, it was. I mean, Daichi Kamada did give it, but it was a good goal that I could say, you know what, fair enough. But it wasn't under any pressure, so you could say that. I suppose you got a point.
What do you mean the Everton one?
Yeah, the first one he scored.
Yeah, the big
Which
deal
led
goal.
from us
Yeah.
giving the ball away, though.
I know. It was a good finish,
Yeah.
but it was
Yeah,
poor
but
from us.
look
You know what I mean?
Look at Brentford away. The first one, Anderson's pressing
Mm,
and then
Yeah.
Kanch recovers. The
Yeah.
second
Yeah.
one was pinball.
Right.
All good
Both
stuff.
goals against West Ham were shocking.
Yeah, we got hit on the counter twice, didn't we?
You
Same
know,
combo.
yeah. The Leicester goal,
It went.
what do you call it?
Henderson.
Mark and Henderson
Get
had a bit of a
Mark and
barney.
Henderson.
Yep.
Then the second half one where Mitchell doesn't decide not to jump. Lacroix scuffs his
Yeah,
clearance. Then it hits
He's a
Danny
proper that one.
Reynolds in the chest. You know, like all these goals have been terrible. I mean, what was Chelsea's one? Chelsea's one, Hughes couldn't put a tackle because he was sent off.
Yeah.
You know, it's bad. It is really,
Really
bad. I can't actually name a goal that I've said, you know what? Like I said, good goal, fair play.
but
It's
they've all been
quite-
soft goals. That's our problem. They've all been soft goals, man. Really soft.
It's quite funny to mention Joachim, even though he's left ages ago. It sounds really weird hearing Anderson doing this, Anderson doing that. It's quite ironic because it feels like ages ago.
It does, yeah. It does. But obviously that was his only game for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, before we went to Fulham.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah,
does.
the Fulham for sure.
But Pat, I think one of the reasons that we're mentioning him, I think we miss his leadership on the pitch. And I was saying this yesterday, and I wonder what you all think about this. I know that Will Hughes has got a yellow in him. He's got 3 already. I know he can be reckless. But the one thing that Hughesy does that I love about him, and I will always love about him, is when he came onto the pitch, he raises the confidence level. He is the guy that comes on and says, I don't know what we're waiting for, but we shouldn't be scared of these guys. Let's go. Let's go. Right?
He's kind of got the intensity we should be having from the start.
100%.
I know obviously the yellow card is an obvious thing, but I think we should start him immediately. And I know we obviously have a system where Glasner's always had a system, but I sometimes think we should just fully possibly go a bit Brexit, and then if we get found out, then we're against Liverpool, so whatever, we're going to lose anyway.
Yeah.
I
I
mean-
think a change of system's needed.
I think the fact that we've talked about Hughes, it would be quite a bold statement, but I could see why it would happen is maybe starting Hughes over Wharton, because I can't lie to you guys, but the second that Wharton came off and Hughes came on, our midfield looked so much better. It really did.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
potentially with Wharton maybe recovering from injury, also not being fully at it as well, because I think I said it in my fan cam. Some of the things that Wharton were doing, can't blame it on him being injured. Like him picking up the ball outside the box, trying to pass it to Eze through Gravenberch. That's just a bit stupid, really. So maybe even in the next game, even though we have got international break, maybe start Hughes instead of Wharton.
I mean, let me say this and then pass the buck because this all's on here. But I always hoped that Will Hughes would become the natural replacement for James MacArthur because he always spent so much time with Macca before he retired. And I always thought that there was a chance that was going to happen. And now it looks like it's happening. He just still lacks the discipline, but he's playing like him. And we need that. I am desperate for that leadership out there on the pitch. I'm desperate for it, which is why I love Yuzi and I like it when he comes on. So, for what it's worth.
Yeah. One thing on that, and also to Animal's point, and I mentioned this even last season. So let's address Animal's point here first about Wharton's crap. He was terrible.
He was shocking, mate.
I like the fact that he's here because Kamada would have got slated for that performance, by the way. I'm just for saying that he would have been absolutely skinned alive for that performance. Wharton was crap. Wasn't the only one, but he was definitely crap. And one thing I want to say, and this is why I like the Hughes and Lerma thing, I think we're just too nice as a club.
100%, bro. We're too soft.
We wouldn't be seen as the nice guys and stuff. You know what? I think we need to get a bit of Everton in us.
100%, man. I agree.
We need to turn into a really if, like you said, going Brexit, if need be.
Brexit.
We have to find some way of just being a nasty.
Brexit means Brexit.
You know, because we're too nice. We give teams too much respect. We only seem to win once we conceded, and going into this whole leadership aspect. Like you look at Mark, I think I see more leadership from Lacroix.
I've been saying
Mark's not a leader though. Mark's not a leader. Mark, you know, I was watching him against the Leicester game a couple of weeks ago, and he was absolutely shitting himself. He literally when Leicester City scored with VAR, they absolutely made him look like an absolute mug, outpacing him and whatnot. He didn't have a Scooby Doo. He was just panicking. You know, he was just rolling his eyes. His body language was awful. And if you're a player on that pitch, you're looking at him as your captain, you'd be absolutely disgusted. You know, Lacroix is a better leader. You know what I mean? And you know, well, I mean, who knows if he's a good leader or whatnot? But for what I've seen of him recently, I think he's shown a bit more, you know, vocalness on the pitch. And one of our problems that I've noticed this season, especially at the home games, we lack communication, especially for Mark Gay. Mark Gay doesn't really communicate and he doesn't direct, you know, the team. But I look at the quad, he's pointing around, you know, he's sort of telling the players who to mark, you know, where to be and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, our biggest problem is we haven't got any leaders, really. Anderson's gone. There's no Mile Jednak. Do you know what I mean? They're long gone. Do you know what I mean? We haven't got players like that. There's no Luka Milivojevic anymore. He left ages ago. We haven't got any leaders.
Is that guy? That's my point. I think Yuzi is that guy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's got the aggression. He's got the toughness. Do you know what I mean? He's not a soft player like some of the other players are, like Daichi Kamada, like Eze, like Mateta. He's got a bit of ruthlessness and toughness in him, and that's what we need. They need a bit of tough love, that team. And honestly, like, you know, we're too soft, we're too nice, and it's just teams have captured us out. Teams are seeing the soft side to Palace as a weakness, and they're just completely taking advantage of it. And no wonder we haven't won a game this season in the Premier League.
And to this point, Bruno, and this is why now that let's be honest, we've been found out. What was working last season, end of last season, is not working anymore. We've been found out. So this is why Hughes with a Lerma is so much better than Hughes to Wharton, because Hughes and Wharton both don't have pace. At least Lerma will have that recovery pace. you know, but still have that element of bite, you know. So
Yeah.
let's see what else do we have there.
When we had a goal kick, and Henderson was thinking, where should I put this ball? He'd either boot it as far as he could in the midfield. It would literally then get a Liverpool midfielder. A Liverpool midfielder would then attack us, and then we'd have to defend, and it'll come back to Henderson. We'd pass it to Mark. They'd be reckless, and they'll try and kick it as far as they can, and then boom, we're back to square one, and we're just doing that all the time. It was also with Wharton that this happened. It's always ended up terrible goal kicks.
I mean, Henderson's kicking. We've known about this, but we've just got to make sure we shape up for it. Let's bring you into the conversation before we do the player ratings.
Hello.
I know JC received a comment yesterday.
Well, what happened?
It was about your Mateta rating. But anyway, thoughts on yesterday, mate?
No, that's James. That's James.
We bring the Mateta rating separate, bring back.
That's because I think you gave him a 3.
No, we ended on a 5.
Okay, fair enough.
So game it makes me want to cry. I just curl up in a ball, try not to cry. You cry. I mean, it's just when's the win coming, lads? When's it coming?
It's got to be against Forest. It has to be.
Oh, hey, good thing James Ward-Prowse is suspended. No stereotypical free kick goal against us. And I guess Gibbs White's not going to be available, so technically this is like our best opportunity to win a game.
Oh man, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Because Forest
I'm not
playing well.
Well,
They are playing well.
I've only lost one game this season as well.
Yeah, let's get through these player ratings and then wrap up.
Yeah. Rich, do you want to dictate through these? So the team is lined up here, basically. So, Rich, you have to be involved in this as well because you disappeared when we were doing player ratings.
Yes, I went for a house for you guys. JC tried to throw me under the bus. Cheek. All right, I'll take Dean Anderson then. To be fair, he kept us in the game. I know we can nitpick at his kicking and stuff like that, but when it comes to doing his job and that's keeping the ball at the back of the net, he did that for the most part. So I'll give him a 7. Right, Tristan. Who's that? Is that Mitch? I've got to make this full screen because I can't even see it.
Mitchell, I'll give him a 5. I thought he was poor in the first half, getting caught out a lot by Salah, and a lot of Liverpool's attack was coming down that right hand side. The left hand side to where I was sitting in the home still end. He improved second half, shored up a bit. Was really a bit more comfortable, and he was making more attacking runs going forward in the second half. Fortunately, there weren't many players darting into the box and making that direct run. But he was trying second half. But it was a mixed performance, really. A very 50-50 game for Tyreek Mitchell.
Chalobah.
I mean, I was listening to the game, so I don't know. And I've seen the highlights. I thought he was terrible letting Jota sneak up behind him like that. It can't be more than a 5, so I'm going to say 4. Because I'm going to say 5 because I would have given Mitchell lower than a 5. I thought he was atrocious. I thought Mitchell was atrocious.
I disagree. I disagree in my opinion. I stand by what I say. To be honest,
I appreciate that, Tristan. Yeah, I'll say 5. Yeah,
Mark.
Oh, is this me? I'll give a 4. Give a 4. Actually no. I actually go down 3. I didn't think he was. I think he was the weakest link in the defense. I think he kind of swapped bodies with Lacroix. Lacroix was actually the only person that knew when to go forward or to pass. I felt like Lacroix was a better person when it came to intensity as well. He didn't have any backbone when it came to defending.
Lacroix.
Ollie,
Can I be honest? I slept through the game, but Lacroix was obviously our best defender out of the 3, so 7.
Fairs. Daniel Munoz for his 20-minute cameo.
3.
It was on the pitch when conceded. That sealed his fate.
You was part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so 3.
Adam Wharton.
Tristan.
3. Oh. Yeah.
Go on,
Sorry.
Timmy.
Sorry, I'm making a prediction.
That's all right.
Making a prediction.
Okay.
That's right.
I agree.
Which means Tristan will have Lerma, I believe.
Yeah.
He's a man of the match. He was excellent. I'm going to give him a 7. He was commanding. He was solid. He was composed, and he did the dirty work for us. And he was the backbone in that midfield. So a solid 7, to be fair. Really, really well done for him. And he's so vital and important for us. And the fact we got him on a 3, last season just shows how much of a top player that he really is overall for us. He's really been superb every time he plays. He gives it his all. Plays out of his skin always.
Ebbs.
UK Pat.
I'll give him a 4. Give him a 4. He was good at certain areas where he could possibly bomb forward, and he was leading the attack. But he just got the ball, thought, what should I do? And then made it so every Liverpool defender and every person in the midfield of Liverpool just went back to the line, and he just felt like a 80s computer. He was literally took so much time to process stuff. He was such a slow coach, and he needs to wake up and humble himself.
Can you go minus just for his shooting?
I think some of these, in my opinion, I think if Lerma's man of match, he should be up a bit. I think Mitchell isn't a 5.
Mitchell's terrible.
He deserves
Yeah,
a
I thought he was
3.
4. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't say a 3. I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Ebbs,
That's my opinion.
just the shooting alone gets him a 2. I don't think Munoz was on for long enough to get him a 3. Where we put in Nketiah.
That's for you.
5, 4, one of those.
Yeah, well, oddly enough, we seem to, when Mateta plays, we're playing balls down the channel, and when Nketiah plays, we're doing long balls. Make it make sense.
Hey, that's what we did with Benteke. We crossed it when he wasn't on the pitch, and when he was on the pitch, we refused to cross it to him.
It's mental. I think Saul was good.
Yeah.
He played
Bright
3
spot going
positions,
forward.
didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And when he went right wing back and then effectively right back, he didn't disgrace himself at all. He was very unlucky with the chance as well. I'll give him a 7.
Fair. Let's go on to the bench.
There weren't that many bright sparks in this game.
Klein.
Tristan Kleiny.
Nathaniel Klein would have given him a 3 if it was awful when he came on. I don't know if you saw what happened in the first half, but Liverpool, I think they had a shot across whatever it was. Ball came towards where I was, and no. I'll tell you what. I think you know what I'm on about, but it was already going out for a corner. But Klein, all he had to do was just knock it out for a throw or down the pitch. Knocking out for a throw would have been more ideal.
Enough time to take a touch.
Just the ball, and then it just goes out for a Liverpool corner, even though it was a Liverpool corner. It's like he could have prevented that, mate. Honestly. A guy was rusty, he was sluggish, he was sloppy. He sort of fixed up a tackle in the second half, but he wasn't. He was getting completely done out so many times. You could see he's not a right wing back. He's more of a right back, and he's more of a kind of centre back type of player for a back three. But he was so uncomfortable, and he was being played out of position. But he was just tragic when he came on. To be honest with you, not a good show from an experienced player of his caliber. Not good.
Mateta.
Tim.
He influenced the game when he came on. I thought Hughes was better, so I would give Hughes, if Hughes doesn't get the yellow, I would have given him an 8, so I'd give him a 7. So I'll give JP, I'll give him a 6. I'll give him a 6 but he did influence the game. And those passes, leaving the ball twice. He leaves it twice for Ebbs for decent chances. So I mean, he influenced the game. Yeah, 6.
Hughes.
It's me now. 6 or 7 because he changed the game. He changed the midfield when he came on.
And
He's
final
brilliant.
sub is Kamada, and I don't think he's on long enough to do literally
wasn't.
anything, so he just gets a flat 5 for stepping on the pitch.
Could I make him go down to a 4, actually? Here's why. In our last potential attack of the game, he clips one down the line to no one.
So bad, mate. He is always
Now,
space.
I'll
give him a 2 for that.
All right, finally, I think
he
we'll get a
went on
unanimous decision on Oliver Glasner.
Well, he picked the line that we wanted.
Okay.
Yeah, he did do that.
And he made changes to affect the game, which was good. But we're just not getting over the line, which is bad.
But
So
is that his fault?
Yeah. Can we have a discussion about this? Why isn't this what he preaches about belief? Why isn't it getting on board? What's going on here? Why is the confidence so low? And is it just like you have to play yourself back into form? Is that just literally it?
I said this last week. I generally think something's happened behind the scenes.
I think that as well. A fallout between him and a few players because Mateta came out, recently saying he was really pissed off, and this is him saying it publicly, stating that he was annoyed that he got substituted against Man United a couple of weeks ago. Now that was me, and I got subbed off during the match. I wouldn't come up publicly and speak about it, but the fact he's come up publicly and stated that there's something not right between them. There's a bit of friction between Mateta and Glasgow. I don't think Mateta fully respects him. And then Mateta's doing it. I reckon there's other players behind the scenes are unhappy, and the way Eddie's been performing, I mean, I've got a feeling there's a bit of friction between him and Glasgow as well. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong. You might think I'm talking a lot of nonsense, but there's just a lot of unsettledness happening behind the scenes. You can kind of feel it in that as well because the performances on the pitch have not been good enough to the best of our ability one bit.
This is tough.
I mean, part of me, I really believe in Glasner. I think what he was doing last season, and we know he has a system. We know he likes to play. We know his teams tend to start slow, but the disconnect between we believe we can win every game and the team coming out and not showing any belief whatsoever is weird, and I cannot explain it. I don't know how to process that.
Yeah. Once we get that first win.
Yeah, so do we blame the lack of finishing chances? Do we blame that on Glasner? Or do we say that he made an attacking sub at the end? He picked the right starting 11.
Yeah, I mean.
So don't we give him a decently high rating because he did what a manager should really do? He made the attacking subs that we wanted. He started the team we wanted, and it's just not his fault that the players aren't doing what he needs to do.
I mean that seems right. Maybe. That seems right. It's the things that we can't see. That's weird.
Exactly. Spot on.
So are we happy with a 7 or do you want it a 6?
I'm happy with a 7. 7's fair enough.
Yeah.
Just on
6 or 7.
that playing devil's advocate, could we question why it took him to the 60th minute to change things?
In what way, though?
But it didn't
we
take
could
him
have
until the 60th minute, though, Rich. I mean, he did yank Mitchell earlier than the 60th minute.
What was it, 55th? 50th or
Something
something?
like that.
Yeah, it's around that
But,
time.
but I mean, first off, I'm just going by that. We could have been 3 or 4 down.
No,
And that was just positional stuff. I think we could have gone to a 4 a lot sooner.
I mean, if you wanted to make a real knock on Glasner right now, this would be the knock I would make on him. We know that Adam Wharton is hurt. Why are we playing him right now? He's playing terribly. He's hurt.
Yeah.
And Glasner will not yield on this point. And we need him the rest of the season. So if I was really going to hammer him, I would hammer him on the way that he's treated Wharton, and I would hammer him for playing because I think he's left Kamada out to dry. I agree with Animal. I think we're way too harsh on Kamada. Way too harsh on him because we don't play him in his right position, and Glasner hasn't played him in his right position. So so those are the two. If you wanted to hammer him, I'd hammer him on those two things.
Absolutely. I mean, Kamada had 4 minutes yesterday, so there's not much he could have done, to be fair.
Yeah.
In those 4 minutes. It's an international break, guys. Enjoy it.
Yay.
Enjoy it. Look, join us tomorrow. We're going to really discuss the women's historic WSL win. We'll touch on the under 18s defeat to Liverpool. I'm not mentioning the other game.
I think you're forgetting the game.
Yeah. Which game? There's only 2 games that I'm talking about tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just the 2 games, all right, Ops? And obviously we'll speak. I'll speak more tomorrow, like on Jez, because he's got a brace again for Sheffield United. I think Ozil's still currently injured.
January.
I think we have to.
In January.
I think we have to because França ain't playing football this year.
Nope.
Hey, shout out to
He ain't
Joel.
going to play football for the rest of the season at this rate.
Yeah.
Christ.
Hey, shout out Joel Whitworth.
100%, and Goodman as well.
Yeah.
Who's what's going to happen first? Is France's baby going to be born, or is he going to get another appearance?
Wow.
I don't know.
Hashtag hot take. I like it.
Yep. At this rate, France's baby will get more minutes for Palace than he. What's the hope that kills you with him, man? Because
he was so close to come back again.
Yeah, there's a spark there. Like I can tell that when he gets fully fit and he gets running, he's going to cause teams problems. He just can't find his way onto the pitch.
What's his injury, though? What's his injury?
Who knows?
Well, he was injured until 2025. They haven't said what his injury was. His rib, his eye socket, his nose. I mean, what is it? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. Let's just hope it's not his groin again. Anyway, that's the match. That's the match reaction for Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. Up the Palace, isn't it?
Always up the Palace.
Hopefully, there's no end credit scene. Eagles.